Hello and welcome to Newsline. I'm Ben Westcott.
And I'm Cern Fredrickson. Coming up on the program, cuts to coal jobs and the death of a Melbourne teen is being taken to the United Nations.
But first, opposition leader Tony Abbott announced this morning that the government's unpopular political funding laws are dead in the water. A bipartisan agreement over the legislation quickly fell through this week under pressure from coalition backbenchers. The laws would have seen political parties given $1 for every primary vote they received at a federal election. Labor has tried to paint the backflip as a failure of Tony Abbott's leadership, but the opposition leader says that he was just bowing to public opinion.
Russian scientists have drawn blood from a woolly mammoth corpse that could help clone the ancient animal. The prehistoric carcass, frozen for 10 to 15,000 years, was found in a remote island in the Arctic Ocean. Professor Semyon Grigoriev, the expedition's head, said the well-preserved find gives scientists a really good chance of finding live cells critical to the cloning process.
With more news, we're now joined by our news anchor, Olivia Shying. Olivia, what's in the news today?
Thanks, Ben. In 2008, 15-year-old Tyler Cassidy was killed by police after he threatened them with knives. Dissatisfied with inquiry findings, Tyler's mother, Shani Cassidy, is lodging the case of her son's death with the United Nations. Investigations into Tyler's death were conducted by Victoria Police. She is now calling on the UN to force the Victorian government to develop an independent body responsible for investigating deaths caused by police. Shani Cassidy says that until an independent body exists, there can be no justice for her son.
To news abroad, and controversy has hit Canada's Miss Universe pageant.
Yes, red-faced event organisers yesterday admitted a typo had led to Denise Garrido being wrongly announced as Canada's Miss Universe at Saturday's pageant. Miss Garrido was in fact the third runner-up to rightful winner Risa Santos. Miss Garrido was stripped of her crown and sash within 24 hours. And that's all for news.
Thanks, Olivia. An underground stormwater harvesting system is being built in Melbourne's northeast in the hope of saving over $100,000 worth of drinking water from being wasted on sporting fields. As Peter Bannon reports, the harvesting at a lake in Greensborough is the largest and most complex of its kind seen in Melbourne.
Stormwater is a cheap natural resource, and now close to $2 million is being spent to capture, filter and store these precious drops at an existing lake at Greensborough. Peter Bannon, Newsline.
Thanks, Pete. And now to business with Tom Collins, and bad news for the mining sector.
Yes, Cern, BHP Billiton, the world's largest mining company, is planning cuts through its entire coal division. It is believed the move is in response to the decreasing price of coal since 2009. The Melbourne-based miner has already shut its Norwich Park mine in a bid to simplify its portfolio. Another believed to be in the firing line is the Gregory coking mine in Queensland, which was partially shut down last year. BHP is currently negotiating with the American Indian Navajo Nation over the sale of one of its mines in New Mexico, which could raise an estimated $85 million for the company.
And a street in Sydney has been closed, apparently due to asbestos contamination?
Yes, the rollout of the national broadband network has been put on hold following concerned subcontractors have released asbestos into a Sydney backyard. Comcare, the government's workplace safety authority, is investigating the claims that have forced some families to evacuate their homes. Only a month ago, the Electrical Trade Union raised concerns about the lack of asbestos training among NBN contractors in Hobart.
Thanks for that, Tom. After the break, we'll be back with sport and entertainment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, and now to entertainment news with Hannah Bamborough, who has gone to withdrawal from her weekly fix of Game of Thrones.
Yes, Ben, this week's lack of Game of Thrones due to a US public holiday has made us stop.
Thanks, Hannah. So how common is illegal downloading, and how seriously do people take laws designed to stop piracy? Newsline took to the streets to find out.
Download Game of Thrones.
Definitely download, yep.
Oh, I borrowed it from my brother.
Oh, okay.
Who probably downloaded it illegally, yeah.
Culture that doesn't like to pay for stuff.
This, we're told, is the Asian Century. Part of the federal government's Asian Century implementation plan is to encourage the teaching of more Asian languages in secondary schools. However, experts say that there are other ways to engage with our international business partners on a more cultural and creative level. Camille Gower reports.
The city of Melbourne is ethnically diverse. Camille Gower, Newsline.
Thanks, Camille. And now to sport with Ryan McGee. And Ryan, it looks like a young Aussie has caused an upset at the French Open.
Yes, that's right, sir. And 17-year-old Ashley Barty surged past big-hitting Czech Lucy Radecka in round 1 at the Roland Garros, marking her first ever Grand Slam victory. Barty won the match in 3 sets against an opponent ranked 96 places above her to secure passage into the second round, where she will face Russian number 12 seed Maria Kirilenko. Other players who progressed include Roger Federer, Serena Williams and Victoria Azarenka. However, there was no such luck for fellow Australian Nick Kyrgios, who went down to Frenchman Gilles Simon in straight sets.
And an Ashes hopeful is one step closer to facing England today?
Yes, son. Pakistan-born leg spinner Fawad Ahmed's hopes of representing Australia received a boost today as a bill that would fast-track his citizenship was introduced into Parliament. Immigration Minister Brendan O'Connor said the amendment to citizenship laws would allow a very small number of people in very exceptional circumstances who, like Ahmed, were able to be a benefit to Australia. Should the bill pass, Ahmed could be Australia's luckiest asylum seeker and be eligible to showcase his talent against England in the Australia A side for the upcoming Ashes. And that's all for sport.
Thanks, Ryan. To weather now, and we can expect more cold weather heading into Friday with rain forecast and a top of 18 degrees. This will continue over the weekend and into next week.
And that's all we have time for today. Have a great night, and I hope you can join us again on Newsline tomorrow.